We are live. That's right. The last show of 2020, E-Man. The Kings lost 122-119. As you can see, I'm not smiling because I'm pissed off that James Harden got a bunch of calls in crunch time. I get it. He's an ex-MVP. I don't know why they kept saying MVP. No. The MVP is Giannis. Two-time MVP. Let me remind you guys. But still, this dude was acting like he was a two-time MVP. He traveled on so many calls, especially when he rolled his ankle. That was a travel, by the way, because he picked up his pivot foot. That's how I feel, man. How you feeling, E-Man?
Yeah, the 2 minute report was going to expose a lot of things that happened towards the end of that game. Nonetheless, Kings had a shot. It wasn't their best game, and they were still in it, and they could have won, man. I felt like they should have won that game.
And not only that, it's just, Kings fans always complain, well, this guy doesn't make the All-Star team, blah, blah, blah. Well, right now, De'Aaron Fox is competing against guys like James Harden, like the John Walls, who have these big names, who get these big calls. I don't know if you noticed, but James Harden got a foul call, and then De'Aaron, the play before, literally got fouled, and they did not call it. That's obviously, again, because he's De'Aaron Fox. But then on the following possession, he didn't get fouled, and they called it. So maybe that trend is heading in the right direction where, okay, if I'm going to stay aggressive, these refs might start calling some stuff. But with that said, as I've always said, the refs should be very consistent with how they call the games. It's either a foul or not. Doesn't matter who you are in the NBA. Just call it the right way. And James Harden got away with a lot of stuff today. But, hey, man, what was your biggest takeaway from today? Just a lot of good and then obviously some bad as well.
Well, I'm just going to point the obvious, and Buddy Hield and Marvin Bagley had tough games. Buddy, at least he impacted the game, making some transition threes. He took a lot of them, and he had a rough night. On the other side, Bagley, on the other hand, he just had an off night. It looks awkward trying to force him to get some looks. And it's against smaller guys, which I don't understand. Against Harden, against PJ Tucker, against guys who he should be able to dunk on, like Christian Wood was on
Right.
Holmes and
He's
everyone
nice.
else.
He's nice.
But Bagley dribbles it, and everyone is obviously gonna swipe at his hip, and they do, and they hit him, and he's not gonna get a foul call, right? He's a big guy, he's supposed to go through that, and he just looked awful today. I was very disappointed by Bagley's performance.
And you said that Hield had a tough shooting night. Yeah, 7 of 18, 5 of 15. But he was very good defensively. He was good against Harden. He just made, like you said, he impacted the game, and I love seeing it. But before we continue, man, huge shout out to all of our sponsors for 2020. We got much love for you guys. Thank you guys so much for all the support, for supporting the Cowbell Kingdom platform, for allowing us to do what we do. We love you guys. And again, guys, if y'all can support all our sponsors, everybody, man, and there's new ones coming in 2021 as well. Valley Tire Center, Medici, everybody, man. Climb, Rebar, everybody. We appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you guys so much, and happy 2021 to every single one of you guys. Tonight ends 2020. It's a chapter in our lives. We have to think about what we did, good and bad, reflect on it, learn from it, and, as we've been preaching all year, no tanking in Sacramento. This team will compete every single night, even against teams that are as good as the Rockets. And if James Harden stays, I think this is a very good Rockets team because they're very versatile. DMC played a hell of a game. Shout out to him. Again, man, the Kings will compete because they got De'Aaron Fox. And now they got a kid by the name of Tyrese Halliburton, man. Talk about that.
I thought he had a rookie first half. Could have been starstruck by John Wall and James Harden out there on the floor. But after when he came back from the second half, he looked absolutely, really, like, again, not a rookie anymore. He was attacking the rim. He was getting guys open. He was getting foul calls. He was tipping so many in the passing lanes a lot. So I was just, again, so impressed by Tyrese Halliburton. Again, first half bad, picked it up a lot in the second half.
Yeah, 27 minutes, 4 of 9 from the field, 2 of 4, big time three. Even DMC appreciated that because they were yelling, and he's like, bang, they said my shot wouldn't translate. Guess what? I'm big time, man. I'm big time, and y'all saw that smile from DMC. He right there noticed this kid is legit, and he played legit in that second half. 11 points, two turnovers, two rebounds, one assist. De'Aaron Fox, 9 of 23. Not a great night. 1 of 7 from beyond the arc. Six assists, 5 rebounds, 22 points. Harrison Barnes, a professional, 24 points. 8 of 14. This dude is legit. 8 boards. He's earning every single penny from that contract. What was your biggest takeaway from HB tonight?
I just love how they choose to get him involved, and they were just giving the ball to him in good position, and he was going to work. As you should on the smaller Rockets team, right? You know, they're offensive oriented, and Harrison Barnes took advantage of it. Like, very good job by him, very professional. Did exactly what he was supposed to do, and then, it's just other players. I don't want to keep, mentioning Bagley, but when Bagley did get the ball in the third quarter as well, like they were forcing it to HB, Bagley couldn't convert on any of these isolation plays, and it was super frustrating.
He was 1 of 9. He was 1 of 9, 8 boards, 4 points, 1 assist. He wasn't effective tonight. He wasn't on tonight, and that's okay because the Kings have multiple guys. And what I love too is that essentially they played an 8-man rotation. Whiteside had 3 minutes, so the tighter the rotation, y'all know how I feel about this, the better it is for me because guys are going to be in better rhythm. They're going to have better timing, and y'all saw it tonight. Rashawn Holmes, 36 minutes. HB, 37. D Fox, 35. Heald, 38. Hallie, 27. Corey Joseph, 23. Rashawn Holmes, man, this dude is a beast. He's once again playing the way he was before he got injured last season. 10 of 13 from the field, 13 rebounds, 22 points. I know I love me some Christian Wood. And again, I would have loved a combination, a duo of a Christian Wood and Rashawn Holmes, but the Kings still got Rashawn Holmes, man. What did you like about him tonight?
He was from the get go, man. He was attacking. He was defensively. He was aware. He was tipping the ball. Just overall, what a great game by Rashawn Holmes today, man. He played super well, and I look forward to match two again on Saturday.
Yeah, and he had key possessions defensively that were offensive fouls by James Harden. Literally running into him, he had great position, and they called defensive fouls, which again is unfortunate. When they come out with the 2-minute report, it'll say it, but it's not gonna make you feel better. If anything, it always makes me feel worse because it's like, well, we saw it live. How did you not see it live? That makes no sense to me. Rashawn Holmes, a beast, consummate professional. He stays ready all the time. And I
And
hope Marvin Bagley's taking notes because this guy is a beast.
and Rashawn Holmes was taking a punishment, man. Like
Yeah, he was.
John Wall and Harden were going at it like his stomach and
Yeah.
getting fouls calls. I'm like, dude, poor guy's getting his air knocked out of him, and he's getting called for foul.
Christian Wood, man. Love the kid. Showed a lot of signs in Detroit last year. And both you and I fell in love with him when we watched him play. He's taking his game to the next level in Houston. And if James Harden sticks around, that's going to be a mean 1-2 punch in the pick and roll, right?
It really is, man. Christian Wood was a problem. They were switching every time James Harden and Christian Wood did a pick and roll, and Buddy was getting destroyed by by Wood, right? But there's nothing
Yeah, I
much
mean,
you
he's
can
coming
do.
into the game, bro, with averaging 27 a night. It's not like he's a scrub.
Yeah, the game plan was to switch on Harden, and Holmes did a really good job staying in front of Harden. It was just when Harden dumped the ball to Christian Wood, there's nothing Buddy can do, man. Even the rotator, they James Harden passed it where Christian Wood would just catch it and do something with it right away.
Right, right. DeMarcus Cousins, 14 minutes, 3 of 5, 1 of 2 from beyond the arc, 8 points, 3 assists. He looked really good in that first half. You could tell he hasn't played basketball in a long time, which is why I think they kind of kept him back a little bit. But with that being said, that's a nice combination of skill with Christian Wood and DeMarcus Cousins, right?
It is, man, and like you said, they took out DeMarcus early in the fourth when Tyrese was going off.
Yep.
He stole it from DMC, I think twice,
Yep.
and then they benched DMC, but that's when my guy Tyrese fell on the floor and everyone got scared. Which I think, man,
Bro, my
Saturday's game is
my
he's gonna be
heart
super
sunk.
sore.
Right. My heart sunk because that's why he missed most of his sophomore year at Iowa State. Because I forget which wrist it was that he injured, but my heart stopped because in that slow mo replay, you saw his wrist kind of like go
Falling
back.
it.
Man, I mean, just bent. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the worst. This is such a Kings thing, right? You're thinking the worst. Well, we always just automatically assume the worst because as Kings fans, we're trained to think the worst, right? And when
Yeah.
I saw that, I was just like, oh no, this can't happen. And I'm glad he shook it off. He played a hell of a, remaining of the game. I thought he'd be shook up and didn't change the way he played. He continued to be aggressive, and that was, again, very impressive. He was poised. Like if that was just, a typical night in a day, it's just like, yeah, I've done this before, which was
Hmm.
very, very impressive by him. John Wall hasn't played a regular season game in 2 years, bro. 37 minutes tonight, which was huge for him. 8 of 20, 2 of 8 from 3. Still can't shoot, though. 9 assists, 22.6 boards. Hell of a game. What did you think about it?
I just loved how aggressive he was. Going 100 miles an hour every possession. Like I said, punishing Rashawn Holmes. Like that's exactly what you ask of him. And the Kings' game plan worked. Like they were going under screens and telling him to shoot the ball, and he did. And that's what kept the Kings in the game. It was him
Right.
taking bad shots, and they weren't falling. So hats
Yeah.
off to the Kings defensive coordinator for figuring that out
Yeah,
and
Coach
forcing Wall to shoot that.
Coach Rex doing big things for the Kings. Eric Gordon hit huge 3-point shot over, I think it was Fox and somebody else. Just huge stationary long three. Eagle shot, as I like to call them. My type of shot. And that went in, and I was like, damn, man. Like, if that shot went out, the Kings would have won that game. But that was such a huge shot for that team in that moment to get that type of shot. He's going to be big if he can stay healthy for that team. Bielitsa, 16 minutes. He had a very efficient game, 8 points, 1-1 from beyond the arc, 5 boards, 2 assists. What did you like from him tonight?
I wish he would have been in that last play. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
just for old time's sake. Give everyone give the Rockets some flashbacks.
Give him some PTSD, man. Um, oh, yeah. Belly, again, always a professional. 16 minutes, very efficient 60 minutes. In my opinion, I think that if Luke would do it all over again, he would have put him out there because he would have spaced out the floor. And especially because you're down by 3 at that point, and you need a 3, and this dude is a 3-point specialist. But again, it's a learning experience for this team. They're still trying to get their feet under them, and they're learning as they go. They're being competitive. They didn't give up when they were down. Was it 6, 5, 5, 6? They stayed tough, and you got to give them credit for that. We talked about Bagley. Again, he struggled. Buddy Hield, 38 minutes again. Did you do you think his defense is sustainable?
Yeah, I think so. It just requires energy, and he went up against arguably the best shooting guard in the game,
Yep.
and Harden didn't go off till the fourth quarter. So I
Yeah.
thought he did. I thought he did enough on the defensive end to stay in the game, but it was offensively, it was just like unforced turnovers, bad shot attempts, forcing threes.
That last steal was tough though, because
He's he's got to get better though, coming off these screens to catch and shoot. Like Buddy is known to be a knockdown shooter, and throughout his career, he's been able to knock down that shot. I don't know what's happening this year if all that defense is dragging his legs, but when he comes off a screen,
hmm
particularly from Rashawn Holmes, catches it, shoots it, it's just like the rate of that has been awful this year. He needs to pick that up. Definitely needs to pick that up, and then
it's a
when he
defense,
does,
bro. It's a defense. He's exerting so much energy on defense.
yeah,
Just think about it. To me, it's logical. Like it seems like some of his shots are short sometimes. I mean, one shot was short. I thought it was a great play. Was it out of the timeout? Yeah, it was. It was a ATO, and he had a great look at it. He just missed it, point blank. Period. He missed it. Those are shots that he makes. But again, you got to take all that effort defensively and think like, man, like his legs are tired, and he shoots with his legs. So but I was referring to that still with Tucker where Rashawn grabbed the board and he kind of just, gave it to him without thinking, oh, Tucker's right next to you. And when he turned, it was already there. So to me, that's more of a team turnover because they weren't yelling, oh, bug, 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 bug. It was just Tucker having the experience to know that if he got his hand in the cookie jar, that he was going to get that. Again, it's just tough, man. Those turnovers hurt though. They really do.
Yeah.
Uh, what they end up with though? They ended up with how many turnovers tonight?
A
20,
lot of unforced
21?
turnovers for sure.
21 turnovers. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot because the Rockets only have 14.
Yep. And the last game was 10 turnovers and
Right.
33 assists.
Yeah. So that needs to change. You got to clean some stuff up. And with that said, they only lost by 3 points. So obviously they could have won this game with better execution, with a little bit better refereeing. Not to make that an excuse, but it was a valid one. A valid one, especially tonight. Corey Joseph, last guy we'll talk about. What did you think about Corey Joe? He had 4 turnovers, by the way.
Yeah, like I said, unforced turnovers by these guys. I thought he didn't do too bad though. I thought he did okay. Attacking the rim. His jump shot was on, so he didn't do too bad. He early in the quarter though he was getting blown by John Wall, but that's a tough guy to stay in front of.
Again, man, Halliburton. We'll end this show on a good note. End this year on a good note. The Kings are still 3-2. A lot of positives to look forward to in 2021. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed um, my raw and unfiltered third quarter breakdown. I'll be doing the Nuggets one hopefully tomorrow, and then we'll be breaking down the Rockets one, and then the following Rockets game as well. It's obviously more so for the basketball junkie that wants to rewatch the entire quarter, and you just kind of, because when you watch it the second time, it slows down. You're like, oh man, he did this wrong, or he did this right. And there were a lot of good in that Phoenix Suns game. They literally lost that game in the last 2 minutes of the third quarter because the Kings were up the entire third quarter. It was crazy. And then just in the snap of a finger,
I
these turnovers. Yeah, go ahead.
Watching that today, I feel like you really exposed Glenn Robinson.
Yeah,
Like oh, like you didn't think about it when you're watching the game, but then when you look back, you're like, oh, Glenn, like dude, you had a lot of hiccups.
a lot
You
of
haven't seen him
hiccups.
back on the floor, so the
Yeah,
coaching staff saw it for sure.
yeah. The coaching staff saw that, and again, some people, the white tie lovers, are like, well, why isn't he playing? But go ahead and explain it, man. Why isn't he playing?
Ah man, that's just like defensively, yes, he clogs the paint. Like you're gonna do that for guys who want to drive in all day.
Yep.
But when you got to hedge hard on some of the best guards in the league, he can't do that because he's super slow laterally, and guys like that are exposed all the time in the playoffs. So I mean, it's not hard to figure out.
Yeah, and that's why Rashawn Holmes lately has been playing big minutes because he's the best pick and roll defender on his team. He can stay with guards laterally. Obviously, not like a guard, but pretty damn close. His anticipation skills are off the charts. I mean, Rashawn Holmes' defensive instincts are so good, and when you combine that with Tyrese and De'Aaron Fox, good things are going to happen. The Kings are relying on big stops that will lead to points for them this year, and it's showing. That's why they're competitive because they're playing good defense against good teams. But we'll see what happens, man. Any final thoughts? Any messages that you want to give the fans, bro, before we end the show? Because you got people over, and then I got people coming
Yeah,
over too.
yeah, man, I do. I have family over as well, but I just wanted to just talk about 2020. It's finally coming to an end. It was we had our ups and downs throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just growing, man. Keep growing this platform. Keep being you. I think recently we've really exposed how you're building a little cult over here with people who want to just win and forget about tanking. So I just want to say, man, just be yourself, And for me, I'm learning and I'm adapting. I'm learning how to be in front of a camera. I'm gonna keep working on, talking in front of the camera and and you just keep being yourself, bro. Good things will happen, and our families will be proud of us for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely, man. See, people are saying E-Man's lips don't move. I think E-Man froze himself. Did you intentionally freeze yourself, or did you not know?
No, I didn't. I didn't even know it froze.
Oh yeah, so you were frozen this whole time.
Was my audio going?
No, it's just you just your face is showing, but you're just legit frozen. Like, yeah, and even I
Just
don't
put a
know if that was
picture
intentional because you got people over, but uh.
No, I don't, man. I went inside. I'm hiding from everybody.
Oh man, but yeah, man. My message is essentially no more tanking, right? Unless it's fish tanks. As you guys can see, you got two of them in the big display in the living room. Sacramento has to change its mindset, and I think it's starting with guys like Fox taking the burden of so much pain, so much frustration from a fan base who was hungry, and the fact that he's essentially put this organization on his back after signing that big time extension shows the character of this kid and the character of a rookie who says, nah, we are not rebuilding. We're building for bigger and better things in 2021. We want to make the playoffs this season. And to me, that's what it's all about, man. It's just having that mindset, approaching the game that we love. I mean, we love basketball. Like, basketball is my life. Obviously, God's first, but basketball is right there, man, second for sure. And for someone to say those type of things and actually mean it, because the way he plays on the court, he means it, man. And he plays like there's no tomorrow, and that's how you approach the game the right way with respect. And I think. And I believe things will take care of themselves as you approach this the right way, man. But again, on behalf of the entire CK team, Ty, Corey, everybody, the entire family, all of Cowbell Kingdom Nation, we thank you guys for a great 2020. And we'll keep you guys in our prayers. Let's hope for a great 2021. This is a year where the Kings break their playoff drought. Book it right now, man. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys on the next one.